Hey y'all, Matt here, and today we're going to talk about the Gospels. We all know the Gospels as the four books of the Bible: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And as you know, they talk about the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. But what are some important things that we need to know about the Gospels, to give us a little background as we approach them, as we read them and study them? Um, First of all, the word gospel actually means the good news. It comes from the Greek word euangelion, and that's exactly what it means, the good news. And so it basically means the good news of Jesus Christ. D.A. Carson says the heart of the gospel is what God has done in Jesus supremely in his death and resurrection. And this is good news. This is something that should be celebrated, it's something that should be cherished, and it's something that we should study constantly to remind us of what Jesus has done for us in the cross. But as we read each of the Gospels, if you've never read them before, what you're typically going to see is four different perspectives on the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus. We have four different biographers, basically, that approach the narrative in four different perspectives, and they have four different motives. And we're going to talk about this in the next video in 2 days. But while they offer different perspectives, what we're going to see is they're similar in a way, and that most of the four they start with Jesus and his public ministry, and we see John the Baptist lead the way, and then Jesus comes along, starts his ministry, and then we see him call disciples. We see him teach and heal, and then confront the Pharisees, the Sadducees, debates them in the temple. A lot of times makes them mad because he preaches against their own self-righteousness. We're going to see him die on the cross. We're going to see him raised from the dead, and then we're going to see him actually appear to his disciples, to some friends, family, and then at least 500 more witnesses. And so the Gospels have a lot of value there because they do document the ministry of Jesus. There's a lot of great teaching by Jesus himself, and it doesn't get a lot better than that, or it doesn't get much better than that. But some things that we need to keep in mind when we approach the Gospels is that it's actually written in a Greco-Roman biography style. And this is basically an ancient literary genre, unlike our history today. If I was a historian today and I was trying to document something that had happened recently, I would go out and I would find a bunch of witnesses that were kind of neutral to it, because I'd want to know exactly what happened, and I wouldn't want any kind of bias, especially with something with, religion or something like that was hotly debated, a hot topic. And if I did find perspectives of people on the inside, I'd kind of present them that way. But Greco-Roman biography did not work in this way. According to Richard Bauckham, who is a scholar, theologian, he said, in the ancient world, living testimony is to be preferred to secondhand tradition. In other words, the authors of the Gospels are primarily concerned with gathering content about Jesus from those who had personally listened, seen, and experienced him. This was different than what we prefer. And what he means by this is typically, if we gather details about something, we want neutral witnesses. The best example of this is if there's a car accident and, two people are involved, and I'm the insurance company. I want to call somebody that doesn't know either of the people involved in the wreck, but saw the wreck happen. And so that way I can get the best details possible. And so I know that, one of them's not going to lie to cover up a mistake or recklessness or something like that. And in Greco-Roman biography, however, it's different. They would have wanted to interview one of the people that was actually literally involved in a crash to get the details of what happened. So this is something to keep in mind, and this is why it can be a little bit different as we read it versus our own history. But next week, or in 2 days, we're going to go into a little bit more about the Gospels. We're going to talk about each book separately, individually, why each author wrote from the perspective they wrote from, and I can't wait to see you then. If you like these videos, please subscribe, keep sharing them with your friends. This is growing. It's gone way beyond what I thought it would. But please continue to do that. If there's any topics you want to see me cover, please comment, email me, text message me, whatever. But I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Blessings.